Bismillah, go for it.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulullah. The meaning of it, this state or what I've just said, in the name of Allah, and all praise is due to Allah, and we send the salutation, and we ask Allah to bless the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. This book, as I've mentioned previously, that I want to go through some chapters, because there's, mashallah, very, very nice chapters in this book. The whole book is very good, Allah Mabarak. It was written by Abu Ayyad Amjad Rafiq. And if you are interested to buy the book, not to buy, sorry, because alhamdulillah we give it for free. So alhamdulillah we have many da'wah stores all over Britain or England. There's one in London, West London, called CC Dawah. You can even go check it on Twitter page, or the brother will put the link for you. So if you're from Leeds or Bradford or Birmingham or from Cardiff, even if you're from America or Australia or Norway, so we have all these da'wah stores. So go there. If you're from there, check them, follow them. Sometimes they go around the country. Maybe they come to your area. Then get in contact with them, and you will have one for free for the Muslims and the non-Muslims. So he mentions here a nice title: Muslim and the non-Muslim relations. Okay. So he mentions here, the Quran the Quran has outlined the base rule concerning the relationship between the Muslim and the non-Muslims, who do not fight the Muslims on account of their religion and not expel Muslims from their homes. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Surah Al-Mumtahina, لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم إن الله أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم إن الله يحب المقسطين. Allah does not forbid you to deal justly and kindly with those who never fought against you because of your religion and never took you out from your houses. Wallah, this verse is so clear for everyone except for the Islamic haters who hate Islam so much, and they will reject anything, even if the truth is so clear. So here our Ustad Abu Iyad mentioned classic scholars, Salafi scholars. Ibn Kathir, may Allah have mercy upon him, stated in his tafsir, meaning that you are benevolent towards them and deal justly with them. Imam Abdul Rahman al-Sa'di, one of the Salafi scholars, mentioned the meaning of the verse. He's from the modern, from scholars of our time. He mentioned, Allah does not prohibit you from benevolent conduct, good ties, returning goodness, and behaving with justice toward the polytheists, from those who are relatives and other than them, where they do not fight you for your religion and not expel you from your homes. So Ibn Kathir, again, Ibn Kathir, who some Islamic haters out there lying against him, he mentions here, bring number of narrations from Asma, may Allah be pleased with her, that the daughter of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, her mother was a pagan. So when she was in Medina, she came to visit her daughter, okay, Asma. So she came to the Messenger of Allah and she told him, my mother, she's a polytheist, and she came to Medina. He said, be good to her. Be good to her. Now, likewise, the treaty with Quraysh, Prophet had treaty with Quraysh. That's why when they broke the treaty, Allah mentioned so Tawbah that you fight them, because they broke the treaty and they are killing the Muslims, so you fight them whenever you find them. But this verse doesn't speak about every polytheist, because in the same chapter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala categorized the other polytheists who keep the contract with the Muslims, who doesn't want to harm the Muslims, to be good to them. Ibn Jarir Tabari mentioned, which another scholar, Salafi scholar, in his explanation of the Quran, that the first meaning of the verse, that this verse was particular only to those Muslims who were resident in Mecca but had not yet migrated to Al-Medina. Second, that this verse relates to the people outside of Mecca who had not migrated to Al-Medina. He mentioned many verses, but he said the correct one, this verse is a general, comprises everyone. The most correct of this saying is a statement of the one who said that what is meant by Allah does not forbid you to deal justly and kindly with those who fought not against you on account of religion, is that it pertains to all of the factions from the different beliefs and religions, that you behave good toward them and that you are just regarding them, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala generalized with his saying, those who fought not. So this verse not just speak about people of the book, speaks about every non-Muslim who does not fight us and try to harm us or take us because of our religion and take us out from our houses. So these verses you never hear, or this quote from Ibn Kathir and the scholars Ibn Jarir Tabari, you will never hear the Islamic haters quote this quotation, because it clearly go against their desires and expose their lies. We'll finish this clip with this statement, beautiful statement of one of the scholars that have passed away, 20th century scholar, Muhammed Amin al-Shinqiti. May Allah have mercy upon him. He mentioned that in his tafsir, he mentioned the numerous views, including the viewpoint that this verse was abrogated, and proceeds to provide historical and textual evidences to refute this claim, mentioning one. So now Shinqiti is saying why, as for those who say this verse abrogated, about the with the proofs, because not because one scholar or two scholars said something is abrogated, we have to follow them. No, you have to give a proof. So now he's going to bring proofs why those verses has not been abrogated. The verse to deal kindly with the disbelievers, or to not force no one to become a Muslim. So he mentioned one statement of At-Tabari and Imam Shafi'i, after which he said, this view that has been deemed correct by Ibn Jarir Tabari and which authenticated by Shafi'i is that which is necessitated by spirit of Islamic legislation. So Shafi'i, At-Tabari, may Allah have mercy upon them, both of them agree that this verse has not been abrogated, to deal kindly and justly with those who never fought against us because of our religion. Rather, mention that is the spirit of the Islamic legislation. Second reason why it has not been abrogated, the benevolence of the Prophet ﷺ towards specific non-Muslims, such as Thumama. Thumama, he was coming to kill the Messenger of Allah ﷺ. He was planning to kill the Messenger of Allah in Medina. He was coming from outside Medina. While he was outside Medina, some companions who were outside, trolling outside Medina, they caught him. But they never knew who he was. So they brought him to the masjid. The Messenger of Allah came inside the masjid. He said, do you know who is this guy? He said, no. He said, this is Thumama. Okay? So the Messenger of Allah, so this Thumama, he came to kill the Messenger of Allah. So Prophet came to him. He said, what do you have? He said, if you kill me, then you have taken your revenge. Because Thumama killed some companions before. And if you forgive me, you are a generous person. So Prophet said, take care of him. Give him food, everything. 3 days, Prophet left him in the masjid, advised companions to take care of him. Prophet didn't kill him. He said, what, you try to kill me? Let me cut off your hand. Then Prophet third day said, let him go free. Thumama left the masjid. He went, he took a balut, he took shower, and he came back. He said, I bear witness, there is no one worthy of worship except Allah. And I bear witness that Muhammad, the Messenger of Allah. So look, this beautiful story, which none of Islamic haters will mention that. That when Prophet was in Medina, a man that he killed some of his companions, a man that he was planning, he was coming to kill him, but Allah protected his Prophet ﷺ. What Prophet did to him? Treated him nicely, took care of him. So that's the second reason. Okay? Third one, the third reason, different delegations that came to the Prophet ﷺ in the 9th year after the Hijrah. This was after the chapter of Tawbah, or when the source Tawbah or chapter Tawbah was revealed. How the Messenger ﷺ dealt with them? Okay, let's read. After Hijrah, such as the Christians of Najran, okay, and the delegation of Tamim and others. With all of them, the Prophet ﷺ was gentle, kind, and he was benevolent toward them. The fourth reason, the treatment of the Jews of Khaybar, who despite being who broke the treaty and did many things which is evil, but Prophet ﷺ, he never killed them. Okay? Then Shaqiq said, he mentions of the other tribes, Prophet ﷺ let them go free, but they always mention Bani Qurayza, and there is alhamdulillah video, I was speaking to this English guy, and I clarified this issue. But we will clarify in another video. So he said, Imam Shaqiq said, and in closing, that which makes this clear very strongly, is speaking about which make it stronger and clearer that those verses to be kind and should not force no one to become Muslim, or the other verse has not been abrogated with the verse of fighting Allah's statement. And if they both, meaning your parents, strive to make you associate with me in worship that of which you have no knowledge, then do not obey them, but be good to them and accompany them in this life with goodness. This good behavior and benevolence is toward the one who strove to make a Muslim associate others with Allah in worship, but did not actually fight against the Muslims. Hence the rights of the parents are to be given precedence, even if they are upon disbelief, and strive to lead one to disbelief. With this and other evidences, Ash-Shanqiti invalidates the view of those who spoke with the abrogation of this verse. So Ash-Shanqiti, may Allah have mercy upon him, to summarize, he brings many proofs from the Quran and the prophetic tradition to demolish and refute the statement that those verses was abrogated. Likewise, Ibn Taymiyyah mentioned that in his Kitab al-Jawab al-Sahih. Ibn Taymiyyah, one of the Imām, one of the high authority in Islamic religion, may Allah have mercy upon him, he mentioned the same thing. He brought many points. One of the points he mentioned, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wal maw'idati al-hasanati wajadilhum billati ahsan." That Allah mentioned there's different categories of people. Some people you give them a reminder, some people you call them with knowledge, some people you debate with them. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنْهُمْ, except those who transgress. Even those who transgress, you have to deal with them with justice. Meaning, if he transgressed just in debating, he was getting a bit rude and so on, then be staunch with him, be strong with him. But doesn't mean you go and kill him. Doesn't mean that at all. So I hope that is clear. And inshallah, as I mentioned, if you want this book, then the brother will put the link in the channel, inshallah ta'ala, for to be or to make it easy for everyone to get in contact with the CC Dawah, inshallah ta'ala. And we'll finish with this. سبحانك الله بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وسلم تسليما كثيرا.